power of these tsunamis. This the second now that we know of coming ashore. We watched the damage of that initial tsunami come ashore, burning buildings, riding along the crest of a tsunami that has come ashore and swept through farmlands and taken buildings, boats, and cars along with it as it tears its own path across the farmland. And as these pictures have shown us, the people, it would seem, the people in the cars on the roadways near the head of the tsunami aren't seeing it like we are. It's very difficult from what we can tell when you're on a flat ground like that to see how far away the head of that tsunami is, because, you know, determining which way you're going to go, and that clearly being away from the head of that tsunami, we saw a lot of those cars heading toward it. So you would presume that they did not see how close they were to such.
Check it out, another tsunami going in.
And we can only hope and pray
that right there is a giant wave going up.
It's uploading right now. With mass casualties. But you see the power of that
power
of Mother Nature clearly in control here as this tsunami sweeps on shore.
Look at that. Again, that is a giant wave. There's like 3 or 4 of them behind that one.
Oh, there's another one going right now?
Yeah, that's another tsunami. That white stuff is a wave, Nick, going into Japan.
You mean like this whole thing is like a giant wave?
No, this right here is a giant wave.
Oh!
That white stuff. See it getting closer to the land?
Shiznit.
Yeah. Go see if Grandma's watching this. Look at the wave. Holy shit, it's about to hit.
And as you mentioned, you've been there for a number of years. I do have to apologise because someone was actually talking in my ear when you mentioned the number of years that you've been there. How long?
Channel 5.
I've been here for 8 years. My wife is Japanese, and she's lived here most of her life. And I can tell you, this was something neither of us we were completely unprepared for this. It was a beautiful spring day. It was sunny outside. I just come
Earthquake weather,
a little errand to the grocery store,
especially with the weather going back and forth.
And you could tell this was different instantly from other little tremors that we've had before. I mean, it just picked up in intensity. It ramped up.
As we continue to listen live to the coverage on CNN, we want to remind you that our coverage will commence earlier than normal in the morning. We will have coverage beginning at 4 a.m. here on KTLA with the morning news. We will be on the air at 4 a.m. bringing you the updates as they become available. Of course, you can follow the very latest throughout the night on our website, ktla.com, as our coverage here on the News at 10 continues. Now 15 after the 11 o'clock hour here Pacific time, an earthquake that hit at 46 after the 2 o'clock hour in the afternoon in Japan, an 8.9 magnitude earthquake. Again, 231 miles north of Tokyo, 150 kilometers off the coast of Sendai. This earthquake was centered in the ocean off the coast of Japan, 15 miles deep. That is, as we know it to be now, a shallow depth for an earthquake. Our Brandy hits in the newsroom with additional information as our coverage continues. Brandy, what do you have?
Michael, we're learning that this earthquake and the tsunami is now going in the record books. It could be considered the 7th largest earthquake ever recorded in history. March 11th, 2011 in Japan at 8.9. I'm looking at some of the information we've been getting in, by far outweighing many of the earthquakes Japan has seen recently, but the largest coming from Chile in 1960 at 9.5. Number 3 on the list is the one many of us remember from 2004, Sumatra, Indonesia. That created that massive tsunami that you mentioned just moments ago. That one measured 9.1. So you compare that to this and what we're seeing here with the tsunamis moving on in. This earthquake at 8.9. This area also very familiar to earthquakes. Japan had an earthquake just on Wednesday that was a 7.2 you mentioned, and back in 1933 they had a bigger one, an 8.1 than the 7.2 I should mention. That one actually ended up killing more than 3,000 people. Last year, fishing facilities, they were damaged by the tsunami that was caused by the earthquake in Chile, and this region once again being hit now with an even stronger earthquake. The 8.9 as these massive waves continue to come ashore. As we get more information here in the newsroom, we'll be bringing it to you live. Look at that, Micah. Look at that destruction, and you have to wonder, do these people know what's headed their way?
Yeah, it's extraordinary, and judging by their behavior in the vehicles, some of them certainly don't know. Well, they may know that it's headed their way, but it's apparent from their behavior that they don't know how close they are to the head of that tsunami, as we've seen now a second monster wave come on shore. a tsunami warning that remains in effect for much of the Pacific Rim. Japan, Russia, Guam, Taiwan, the Philippines. A tsunami watch has been issued for countries farther in the distance, including the state of Hawaii has a tsunami watch in effect. Clearly, they have a lot more time to anticipate and to evacuate areas that are low-lying if they indeed deem that to be necessary. We want to bring Robert Pollard back onto the line. We had him here a few moments ago. Robert, we've been talking with you.